research did you go through while you were, preparing for your characters?
We still have, that the architecture, the old architecture preserved in a lot of places.
I was so nervous when I had to wear this kashta.
So many instances, so many lines, dialogues, and sequences where I actually felt like me.
आज के ज़माने में I am only thinking about I.
Hello, I am Srijani from Filmfare and I am in conversation with two brilliant actors and they are coming up with their new movie, Phule. So, welcome Patralekhaa and Pratik Gandhi to Filmfare.
Thank you.
I'm loving these ensembles, by the way. Is this moustache for the movie?
No. This has a different look altogether.
Okay.
This is for the current film that I'm shooting.
Oh, no secrets to it. Amazing. I'm loving your ensemble, Patralekhaa.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Is it like occasion special?
No, but just for the interview.
Yeah, in fact, they are just celebrating food. The release of food.
Yeah.
Of course. Also, did it feel empowering to play such dynamic characters on screen?
Absolutely. It feels empowering, it feels enriching, it feels satisfying the most as an actor. When you are given responsibility, when somebody actually, trusts you with these characters, it's a dream for that.
Yeah. But what kind of research did you go through while you were, preparing for your characters?
So there are a lot of things which are already written about them,
Yeah.
which we have studied in school and college,
Yeah.
though very briefly.
Yeah.
Our biggest source material was our script, which itself is a research material.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are so many books, extensive research has gone in writing the script. Because their life is, they have led a monumental life.
That is true.
So many things that they've done. So when you actually have to write a script around their lives, which is just 2.5 hours, so you have to read almost everything and then come to this script. So which writer and director, they've already done it. So when it came to us, it's a rich material that came to us. And while shooting, there are so many people who have told us so many things. So everything put together was a research in itself.
Were the researchers on set, like with you guys, or
No, the research had been done thoroughly, extensively. The locations were very interesting.
What were the locations, if you could tell me about them?
We shot in the interior of Maharashtra and we shot in the Vadas,
Bhor, Satara, that region.
Okay.
Where we still have, that the architecture, the old architecture preserved in a lot of places. So that actually gave the authentic feel to the film.
Right. Talk to me about your costumes as well. These are very authentic Maharashtrian costumes.
Lovely. So Aparna, the costume designer, big shout out for her.
and also Anand sir, who's
sir,
sitting there and looking at us. Because I was so nervous when I had to wear this kashta.
Yeah.
And obviously anything new can be fearful, right? Because we don't know that territory. And I think Anand sir was so hell-bent that the kashta is going to be worn in a certain way.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but he was so convinced that I just gave it. And I was like, okay, so this is your film, this is how you're seeing it, and kudos to it.
Right. Also, there's a lot of history involved, but it also has to be palatable for the audience. How do you as actors maintain that balance?
It's a very interesting question actually.
Yeah.
Most of the time what happens is because in current times, the way we talk,
Yeah.
our vocabulary is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Languages are mixed.
Absolutely.
And our thoughts are also mixed. Certain lines that you think in Hindi and in between you shift to English without you even knowing that you're doing it.
Yeah.
This we are talking about 1800s. Different times. So nobody knows how people used to talk there.
Right.
We have photographs somewhere, something written about it, but there are no audios and videos of that time.
Yeah.
Hardly anything. I don't think, I've never heard anything or seen anything of 1800s. So it is for us to interpret and make it relatable to the audience. At the same time, as you said, that palatable to the current audience,
Yeah.
but they should also get a feel that the time was so different. People were different. They used to think differently. So if I'm using some Hindi words and Hindi lines, it has to be, it has to come from within. मैं रट के बोल रहा हूँ ऐसा नहीं. It comes from within. So when I use those words which we don't use in regular life, if I'm not comfortable with those lines and words that comes out from within, it will not feel natural. It will not feel palatable.
That is true.
So palatable बनाने के चक्कर में ये नहीं है कि मैं कुछ difficult words avoid करके इसे एकदम ही colloquial बनाऊँ अभी के time.
Yeah.
Then we lose the essence. So when you try to make it palatable, it is actors' job to make it their own first. You have to fall in love with the text and completely digest the text so that it becomes irrelevant beyond that. So even if I improvise certain lines, certain words, certain movements, it has to be like Jyotirao, not like her. So if I have to reach to that level, I guess to answer your question of not making it palatable, you have to first make it palatable for your own self. You have to buy into that so that I can ask people to buy into it.
Yes.
And it's an interesting process.
It is.
Very interesting process.
Yeah. And the way you explained it, I was like, whoa, yes. Patralekhaa.
No, but of course, what he said is, I completely agree with that. But also, I will just add on to this that how a director and the DOP is lensing the whole scene and how they are seeing the film also makes a giant of a difference, right?
Okay.
So I feel like an actor is performing like what he said, and it's absolutely, I 100% agree with it. Now also how they are lensing it and how we are seeing it as an audience to make it palatable. I think that's the bridge.
Okay. Also, there are a lot of talks, and of course, they were such great people, you know. There are a lot of talks about untouchability, about casteism. How heavy were those scenes? Like while you guys were filming? Because let's face it, like some of us probably have never faced casteism in our lives, but these people have worked for people who have faced it. And you know, there was this one shot in the trailer that I absolutely loved about Shudras, and that, oh my god, that was so amazing. I mean, I'm waiting to watch the movie. How heavy were those scenes?
So heavy in the sense when I read it as a reader, when I see it as a viewer, it is very heavy.
It is, yeah.
So when we perform, understand that we were performing at the time when this was a common thing. So it can't be heavy on them because they live that life day in and day out. For them, the best part that hits you right now deeply and moves you because they were taught that this is how you were supposed to be. So simply they say these lines. The most, you know, in a simpler way that they perform, that touches you. मैं जितना आसानी से इतनी बड़ी बात अगर बोल देता हूँ कि आप इसे छूइए मत, आपको पाप होगा। मैं उसे heavy नहीं बना सकता because मैंने पहली बार नहीं देखा। The lady who's saying it, she's doing it, yeah. So it was normalized for them. That fact is hitting you hard. So that fact has to get converted in the performance and in the lines and in the oral film. So I guess when we were performing, we were not supposed to make it heavy. It has to be a way of life for them, which they were fighting against. So that it translates heavy.
But when we read, at least I read it the first time and the descriptions were given, it was a bit strange. You felt like this is actually what happened. But because you know your material and you know what you're shooting, so it's not that shocking at that point. And
you guys were so immersed in your characters, is what you mean also.
But when I read it for the first time, there were so many instances, so many lines, dialogues, and sequences where I actually felt like
I know, exactly. Didn't it hit you hard when you were first reading it? Yeah.
Absolutely hard. And there are so many scenes where you see them in the condition where how they used to live. They were forced to live there. Inhuman. You don't even do it to some animals.
But see, that's why they're celebrated. That's why Jyotirao and Savitribai are who they are, even today.
That's true. But also, we have heard that an actor takes away a lot of things from the characters that they play.
After the shoot.
Yeah.
While the shoot.
what were the things that you guys took away from your characters? Any traits or anything that you've learned from these amazing characters?
Their grit, their
Yeah.
determination.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And just being selfless. Yeah, आज के ज़माने में I am only thinking about I. I don't think so. We have the bandwidth to think of us collectively as a society.
They were selfless givers. And it is surreal, beyond a point. If you just see, I'm sure after a couple of hundreds of years, if somebody reads about this, they will definitely feel these are fairy tales.
Yeah.
People like this never born.
Yeah.
They never lived on this.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to
We were
believe.
reading in history and we thought कि अरे ये
ऐसे
तो
थोड़ी है।
yeah,
या तो ये कोई अवतार बन गया।
Yeah.
नहीं तो नॉर्मल आदमी अब कभी ऐसा सोच ही नहीं सकता because we've never seen people like this around anymore. So the selflessness is something that moves you from within. यार हम कर क्या रहे हैं? और ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी सब कुछ एकदम ही अच्छा चल रहा है. So many things need your constant intervention.
We need people like that.
Yes.
We hardly get them.
More now than ever.
No, no. Oh my god. Very hard hitting. But also, how was it to play these very authentic Maharashtrian characters, I say this because you guys are not Maharashtrians by birth. So, what went behind the scenes while you were playing these characters?
Oh, so Marathi is not my first language.
Right,
I understand Marathi pretty much.
Did you have to speak heavy Marathi while
Not heavy Marathi.
Okay, this is Hindi mostly.
Yeah, it's a Hindi film and we wanted it to reach out to maximum audience.
Yeah, sure.
Language that they understand. So that their humongous work and their life can be understood properly.
Yeah.
But having said that, because of the authenticity, they were Maharashtrians and Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule, they would speak absolute Marathi, right? Correct Marathi. So we had a lot of Maharashtrians on set. Those would correct us, those would help us. Make no mistake when we speak something in Marathi. It was not a pretentious Marathi that I wanted to speak, or we ever tried doing it.
It wouldn't be that Hindi mixed Marathi.
Not Hindi mixed
No.
Marathi.
That's good.
If I'm saying in Marathi, one whole sentence, that should be in Marathi. And the correct Marathi. That's what we took care of.
Right. Patralekhaa, did you face any challenges while
Challenges.
in the sense that
The language.
you were being authentically Marathi?
Of course, yes. It's a full paradigm shift. I mean, I'm a Bengali girl coming from Shillong to Mumbai and to then playing this monumental character that's going to live forever. It was very overwhelming. But Anand sir was pretty clear that let's keep it Hindi as much as we can. And of course, Pratik being the amazing actor that he is, and he seamlessly just was the character. He would speak like words in Marathi, and I would be like, okay, he's saying that, let me try to get like a word or two.
Right.
But for her, it's even a difficult task.
Okay.
Because as she said, she's from Shillong. Her
Yeah.
first language is not even Hindi.
No.
Yeah.
So Hindi and Marathi. So it was like double the challenge for her.
Double the challenge, yeah, exactly. What do you think fans would take away from this movie?
I mean, just a life that was lived with fearlessness. At every decision, every big step that they took, like they empowered the girl child, they empowered women, they empowered widows, they empowered the Shudras. It was a fearless life lived out and out.
It's the motivation to live life.
Yeah.
Being completely fearless. That's the biggest takeaway from the film.
I'm actually getting goosebumps at times.
No, I mean I'm saying this. So this film, I hope that it broadens the definition of entertainment for the viewers.
Yeah.
It goes much beyond the typical entertainment.
Yeah, it's not like
It will entertain.
commercialized.
No, it will definitely entertain people.
Of course.
But not in terms of the entertainment that we have seen. all
We are
our lives.
seeing nowadays, yeah.
It's not
It
bubble
will
gum.
move you with a lot of questions. It will move you with a lot of thought.
Yes.
That's what I want.
It is thought provoking. The trailer was absolutely thought provoking. Like, I had so many chilling moments and then what is happening. But thank you so much for speaking to me. It was such a pleasure. Thank you. I got goosebumps and I hope that the movie is a success.
I just hope you have it.
Thank you so much.